right? And the children that I'm targeting are grades 4 through 12. So with you purchasing a book, all you have to do is go to Amazon, look for Prerequisite to Adulting. And as you go to Prerequisite to Adulting, when it says, where do you want this book to be sent? Then, thank you so much. If you if you go to the address where it's going to be sent, I will inbox you and let you know where it's going. Or all you have to do is just send it to either Bancroft or Bayard High School. Bayard High School or Bancroft Elementary. Love you back, girl. That's where the book's going to be going. I'm starting out. Hey, go Rice Girl! I'm starting out with the schools in the Christina School District because those are the schools that are struggling the most. I worked in Christina School District, so I know what goes on in that district and what they have and do not have. So if you are just tuning in, I read How to Handle Heartbreak. How to Handle Heartbreak. My daughter's kitten passed away this morning, and I am so glad that everything that's in this book about handling heartbreak is what I taught her at an early age. So thank goodness for that. But if you didn't have an opportunity to teach your children that, no worries. Get them a copy of Prerequisite to Adulting, and they'll be able to handle it like a boss. Now, don't get me wrong. There was some wailing and there was some crying, and thank God the youth pastor was there when my daughter found out that Nipsey passed. And when I say Nipsey, guys, for those just jumping in, Nipsey was my daughter's kitten. The kitten was not even like 2 months old. But what happened was when she ate the chocolate ice cream, it really jacked her up, and her stomach was bloated. I had to actually call one of my friends. I was like, look, you need to come to my house with a shovel because I cannot do this. I just cannot. I will not be able to do this. So the next part that we're going to talk about is college and how everybody's not going to be going to college. And it's true. It's so true. Everybody's not going to college, guys, and we have to be okay with that. We have to be okay with that. And if you look at the picture that's in the book, right? The picture has a picture of a Marine or a Navy service person. It has a firefighter. It has entrepreneurs. Your child has an opportunity of a lifetime, even if they decide not to go to college. I think that in 2020, we need to stop. Exactly. I didn't use my degree at all either. My degree, it was beautiful in its casing. It was wonderful walking down the aisle. My parents took 1,000,001 pictures, but guess what, guys? I'm doing nothing in my degree field. Nothing. Absolutely squat diddly. As a matter of fact, I'm actually doing more in my original major, which was journalism, mass communications, than I was in my business, hotel, restaurant management major. I had to go back to school because I am a teacher now. And when I was at Del State, I was like, teachers? Pfft, y'all are crazy. Hey, Antoinette, it was sad, girl. Girl, it was horrible. It was horrible. It was horrible. When I saw my sorority sisters and my friends that were in the education major, I was like, y'all are crazy. You want to teach kids? And look what I'm doing. I'm teaching kids, right? The irony of it all. But in this book, it teaches you how to write your college essay. How many of you know of a college student that's struggling to write their college essay? I am, because my son is like, I don't want you to help me. I want to do it myself. 3 weeks later, he's like, Mom, I need help. And I told him, I want you to go to page 148 in my book and figure it out. And he did that. And he was able to choose the types of essays that worked best for him. So with this, there's about 12 pages on how to write a college essay. And you know what? The essays that they're suggesting are for scholars who may or may not have a good GPA, who may or may not have a good SAT score, who may or may not present with a solid major of choice. It is what it is. But we, as parents, as mentors, as teachers, as guidance counselors, as mimas, as pop-pops, whatever you want to call yourself, we have to stop making kids feel bad about wanting to pursue a different route as it relates to their career. Everybody is not going to go to college. Exactly. And you know what? I remember there was a guy in my high school. Everyone made fun of him. They're like, oh, you're going to be poor. This dude was able to retire. Let's see, I'm 47. He was able to retire at 45, I think it was. 45? He retired at 45, purchased a beautiful house in New Jersey, and New Jersey is so expensive. He purchased a beautiful house in New Jersey, retired his parents because he decided that he wanted to be an electrician. And everyone was laughing at him. Hey, you're a janitor, you're an electrician, you ain't gonna make no money. What he did was, he did, I think it was 20 years as a janitor and with the city or the state, whatever it was. He did, he did 20 years with that. And then he did, while he was doing that, he also was an electrician. So on the weekends, what he did was he worked on his own business, right? So he ended up working as a janitor, and he also on the weekend was an electrician. And this dude has money out the wazoo because he was focused. And he said, I'm not going to college. I'm not going to have a amount of college debt like my parents have. They're still paying it. Yeah, and it is. You know what? In this book, I actually tell you about some careers that and how much they can make. Like, there's some careers that will laugh us out the box. $75,000 to be a nuclear medicine technologist. $75,000. All you need is an associate's degree, right? A nuclear power reactor makes $80,000. All you need is a GED. Making $80,000 working as a nuclear power reactor operator or power plant operator or dispatcher, $81,000, and all you need is a freaking GED. Okay? Radiation therapists make $80,000. All they need is an associate's degree. Power plant operator, like I said, GED. Okay? Ship engineer, all you need is coursework. I'm like transit and railroad police. GED, they make $70,000 and they have zero college debt. Like Renee said, the laugh is on those who was like, my child's going to Harvard, my child's going to Yale, and now you got that Yale freaking student loan you have to pay back, right? And meanwhile, the ones that you were joking at are the ones that's chilling. Exactly, we use a 911 dispatcher, that's all you need. Let me tell you something. I have a very good friend of mine who is, he works for a life insurance company that I'm with. And the guy who brought him in is making, and I saw it with my own eyes. I'm a type of person, I'm from Missouri. I want to see it myself, right? I went in my back office and I'm like, this dude is making how much per month? He's making anywhere between $120,000 and $311,000 a month. Not a year, not a decade, a month. And I saw this with my own two eyes. I saw it with my own eyes. I said, wait a minute, what? He's making who? Yeah. You heard what I said. Anywhere between $148,500 and $311,000 per month. And that's because within 20 years, he was able to get enough people who believed in his vision and wanted to make that same kind of money. And he cultivated them to the point where now they're doing it. You know, he's breeding people making six figures left and right. And it's not an MLM, it's not a pyramid scheme or a scam. The biggest pyramid scheme and scam is when you're at a daggone job for 40 years, making 40% of your income, working 40 hours a week. Like, if you can't afford what you was earning full time, how can you afford when you're not working and you're surviving on 40% of your pay? You can't. It's no way possible. The only way that works is if you know the money game. If you know about the rule of 72. If you know about investments and money markets and mutual funds. That's when you start winning. But if you just sit there talking about, oh, I have a bomb job making $200,000 a year. Okay. And meanwhile, while you have that $200,000 a year lifestyle, and now you are only going to be making 40% of that, $80,000, how are you going to sustain that? And that's how come we keep seeing Jim and Larry and Pearly Sue and whoever at Walmart greeting people because they have to make ends meet. I'll be damned if I'm 70 years old, 60 years old, working at some daggone Walmart because I can't make ends meet. That ain't happening to the kid. And part of it is because I know about what's in this book. And the last thing that I'm going to talk about. The last thing I'm going to talk about, and again, I'm not giving any financial advice. I'm just telling you what I know. And I'm giving you a glimpse of what I know. Okay? So first of all, when you are getting yourself together, you need to know how to invest in yourself. And you need to know that life insurance is super, super, super important. Period. And basically, I can't tell you what kind of life insurance to get, but I can tell you what, I could tell you this. Thank you so much. In the financial wellness and preparedness category of this book, it tells you what you need to do. Crowdfunding is not life insurance. Stop asking people to pass the plate when your loved one dies. It is not on us when your loved one passes away for everyone to donate what you can in order to help them out. You have to have life insurance. Period. Point blank. I don't care how glamorous it is. I don't care where you get it from. Find a reputable place and get yourself some life insurance. And my suggestion, I can't give you financial advice. You are not going to say that I told you to do something. I keep recapitulating that because you ain't going to sue me. But where I'm at, we tell people to get term and invest the rest. Because dig this, right? I know someone personally, right? Very personally, like family member, that was paying like $4 and change a month on whole life insurance because they had a cash value and it was supposed to be for them and their kid. When the numbers were crunched and found out that they would be paying a third of that with term life for the same amount of years and using that leftover $2 and change and investing it, they would have had $90 some odd thousand by the time that they were 65. Minimum. Right? We can only give them like, what the lowest interest rate shows. And they're like, oh, I'm good. I don't need that. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? You'd rather, if God forbid something happens to you, that your cash value, once your life insurance realized, and once something happens and the face value is $200,000. Thank you, Dexter. If the face value is $200,000 and you paid $100,000 into this daggone thing, you're trying to tell me that if you have to pick between the cash value or the face value, you're not going to, you have to choose. Whereas you can have both if you get term and invest the rest. It's a no-brainer. But I know someone who's doing this and they're making 6 to 7 figures a year. No college debt. None. So that's all I really wanted to talk about for today. Again, this is a 10 days of Christmas. So I want to tell you the best is yet to come. Let the adventures begin and follow your dreams. I need you. Guys, I need you. I need you all. In these last 3 minutes, I need you all to find someone who's willing to invest $40 in a young kid's life. $40 is not a lot of money. Most of us spend $40 in a dollar store. Let's be real. And if you are going to do that, please go to Amazon and purchase this book. And then when you purchase this book, you can have it sent to you and then contact me and ask me, well, where do you want me to send it? Okay? But you can automatically send it to Bayard or Bancroft, Bayard High School, middle school, Bayard Middle School or Bancroft Elementary. Those are the 2 schools. Now, if you send it to me, I will make sure it gets to the scholar, right? But, hey, how are you? Thank you for joining. If you send it to me, I will make sure it gets to the scholar. But if you want to send it directly to the school, the guidance counselor will know exactly who the child is going to get, which child is going to get the book. They know exactly which children were targeted and pinpointed for this book. Okay? The goal is for us to create generational wealth. The goal is for us to stop this generational curse. The goal is for us to stop having our babies live check to check. Our goal is for us to let them know that they can handle disappointment like a boss. Our goal is for us to let these kids know that whatever hardships that they're dealing with right now in your life, it can end with them. They can end domestic violence. I'm just going to go through the table of contents, okay? They can end domestic violence. They can know how to forgive. They know they're destined for greatness. They know about the village. All of us on here know about the village, right? What happens when Miss Debbie saw you doing something? Before you got home, your mama knew about it because it was a village taking care of each other. You know, if you had a village mentality,